Not sure you have the right credit card? Know which one to get? Turn to the nerds. Hey there, aloha. Need a card with great travel rewards? Turn to the nerds. Yowza, that sounds expensive. Time for a credit card with a lower interest rate? Turn to the nerds. Can we crack a window or something? The experts at NerdWallet make it easy to make smart money moves. Compare and find the best credit cards for you at nerdwallet.com.
Our country's in grave danger. Bruce, are coming east. Now, a vast kingdom with huge armies. And the West plan to invade our country. My brother Hi-Fi's with them collide. We must resist. After the sun again.
Vikings premieres December 4th at 9 on History. France, 1307. Upon the orders of King Philip IV, members of the Knights Templar, who were once among the most powerful and highly regarded men in the world, are persecuted, hunted down, and imprisoned throughout the country. Those who are caught are subjected to interrogation and torture, and often executed. One prison where at least 70 Templars were held still stands today in the fortified medieval village of Dome, France. Fearing that they may be the last of their order, the Templar prisoners sought to preserve their legacy by carving symbols and coded messages into the solid rock walls using whatever was available, sometimes even their own teeth.
It was long thought for hundreds of years that there were no written records pertaining to the Knights Templar. Their archive in Paris was destroyed, but there are some traces of Templar writings in form of graffiti, and there are extensive examples of those in the guardhouse at Dom.
In September 2017, Rick Lagier and two of his nephews traveled to the 700-year-old prison in Dome in search of further clues as to what treasures might lie hidden on Oak Island.
And you can see lots of evidence of how they passed their time, which was by making carvings in the walls to sustain them spiritually. Over here is some of the most well-known carvings at Dom this way.
But of all the carvings in Dome, there was one that caught Rick's attention more than any other. And it was this same carving that he believed provided a match with the mysterious lead cross he found at Smith's Cove just 1 week later.
That is an old cross. So I would say that is somewhere in between 1200 and 1600.
But if the cross at Smith's Cove is determined to be of Templar origin, how would it have made its way some 3,000 miles across the Atlantic? Is it possible that during the period of their persecution, some of the Templars actually escaped, and if so, may have made their way to North America?
Of the roughly 4,000 Knights Templar that existed at that time, a total of about 500 have ever been arrested or put on trial at any given time. That left 3,500 Knights Templar who had to be accounted for.
It was rumored that the Templars had a fleet of 18 ships based at La Rochelle on the Atlantic coast of France, which King Philip set out to capture.
His troops immediately went to La Rochelle to arrest the Templar fleet. They got there and there were no ships. The whole Templar fleet had disappeared. Where would it have gone?
It is widely believed that the Templar fleet sailed north to a country where they already had a stronghold and many supporters. Scotland.
The king, Robert the Bruce, was in trouble with the Pope. He was already excommunicated. This made Scotland something of an open place. This became a very attractive mecca for the Knights Templars after the Troubles.
The Templars had made arrangements for this inevitability. They had sent money, they had sent treasure, they had sent documents to places that they knew would be safe.
Some researchers believe that for decades the fugitive knights were protected by one of Scotland's most powerful families, under the guidance of their patriarch, Henry Sinclair.
Henry Sinclair was the Jarl of Orkney. He was from the family of Sinclairs, originally Santa Claras, which became the Sinclair clan of today.
According to Christopher Knight and other Templar researchers, Henry's ancestors, the Sinclairs, and their French relatives, the St. Clairs, were instrumental in creating the Knights Templar.
Henry Sinclair was clearly a Templar or a descendant of the Knights Templar.
But although Scotland provided a temporary safe haven, the Knights Templar were still being hunted by the Pope and wanted to create a homeland of their own. To that end, they sought a destination where they could build a new Jerusalem. Although evidence that the Templars succeeded is unsubstantiated, there are many who believe they were made aware of a vast new world some 3,000 miles to the west.
There are records from the Irish, records from the Vikings. There are indications that the Phoenicians came in this direction. There is so much evidence now that Europeans were coming in this direction, heading towards this new world hundreds of years before Columbus, hundreds of years before official history actually recognizes it.
There was this kind of secret knowledge of another continent, which therefore could have reached the Templars.
According to letters discovered in the 16th century, Prince Henry Sinclair hired two experienced sailors from Italy, Antonio and Nicola Zeno, to guide a daring 3,000-mile expedition from Orkney, Scotland in 1398.
The documentation they kept actually was given back to one of their relatives and remained hidden for about 200 years, was found, and then has since been transcribed.
While the authenticity of the Zeno narratives remains unsubstantiated, they report that Henry Sinclair rented 12 Venetian ships and filled them with Templar fugitives. After leaving Orkney, they sailed west toward North America.
If you trace their journey from Scotland down through Iceland, it makes so much sense that they followed this trajectory and ended up in Nova Scotia.
Nova Scotia, Latin for New Scotland, would have offered Henry Sinclair a perfect home for himself and his fellow knights. Here he made contact with a native people known as the Micmac, also pronounced as Mi'kmaq. Backing up the Zeno narrative are the stories passed down by the Micmac themselves.
We're a Micmac on my mother's side, and she started talking about that when I was very young, 4 years old, 5 years old. I, for one, really did believe that Henry Sinclair did come to Cape Breton.
It fits with the Templar theory itself, really. If Henry Sinclair was really here, and he clearly would have to interact with the First Nations peoples. He would have to. They lived here. That's intriguing.
But if the Templars really landed on the shores of Nova Scotia, did they bring their treasures with them? And if so, where are they now?
So, average Longford,
Putting a price on history
Is this really LeBron James' mouthpiece?
isn't easy.
That is really, really cool.
I think it's priceless, but they're gonna give it their best shot.
This is Vegas. I might hit jackpot.
Oh, it's going to be fun.
I'm a huge fan. Yeah, brother.
I would have killed the mistake when I was 16 years old.
All new episodes of Monsters premieres Monday at 10 on History. Every Monday.
Down there. Let's do it. Do it.
We're doing it. New towns. New pets. New deals. American Pickers. We're doing it. Monday at 9 on History.
It's not easy crafting the distinctive full-flavor taste of Maker's Mark. Getting all our water from our very own limestone filtered lake. Getting right winter wheat instead of the usual rye from this one family farm. And even
on Little Caesar's thin crust pizza, I can't see the crispy crust.
There it is.
Get a Little Caesar's large thin crust pizza with extra cheese and the most pepperoni, all at the nation's best price of just $6.49.
Pizza, pizza.
At an age when most people